So for the past 20 years, I've been helping Malaysia and other South Asian to speak better English. And through training thousands of Southeast Asians, I discovered very surprising truths. As different that how well somebody communicates in English actually has very little to do with their English level. It has a lot to do with their attitude towards English. There are people out there who has a lower level of English than can communicate with very well. One of them, remember, was a student participant of mine named Fido. She was Fido supervisor. English very low. But the guy could just sit and listen to anybody very calmly, clearly, and then she could respond. Absolutely express his thoughts beautifully as very low level English. So today I want to share with you what is so different about people like Faisal. How do they do it? And second of all, why it's so important not only to you, but to your children, your community, and your future of Malaysia. And third of all, what's one thing you can do starting today if you want to speak with a calm, clear, confident that people like Faisal have? First of all, what is so different? How do people like Faisal do it? So to answer that question, you do back to back 10 years, okay? So I graduated from at the first time, and my daughter at the time there was taking piano lessons, and I started to notice two really strong similarities between my daughter's attitude or thinking towards playing the piano and a lot of Malaysian thinking or attitude towards English. First of all, I should tell you my daughter absolutely hated the piano, hated the lesson, hated the practicing. This is my daughter practicing piano, okay? This is God at God's God. This is the reality. And she dreamt of going to piano lesson because my daughter going to piano lessons, she was filled with short dread because it's all about not screwing up, right? Because like of piano students, to both my daughter and her teacher, her success in piano was measured by how few mistakes he made. At the same time, I noticed that a lot of Malaysians went in Asia confused with the same short feeling of dread. The short feeling that we are going to drag by how many mistakes we are going to make, and whether or not what we're still cure up. Now the second similarity that I noticed was to deal with self-image. My daughter, she knew what good piano sound like, right? Because she over the piano. And she knew what her level was. And she knew how long she had to play for to speak like that. And a lot of Malaysian, I noticed, has the idea of what good proper English is supposed to loud like. And what there I see a lot of you not. And what their English sounds like, and how far they would have get there. And they often felt like they were, like my daughter, just bad piano player, bad English speaker, right? My English not good enough. Cannot, sorry, I cannot. So I could see the similarity, but still confused. Okay, what is about people like Faisal that are so different can just do it smoothly, calmly, with confidence? On one day I discovered that answer is not required by chance. It's way when I computer broke down, then I heard to buy Cypher Cafe. Now it's worth most of the time I discovered Cypher Cafe is this good place, okay? They're really gross. They're smelly and they're filled with boys and they're always play noisy, violent games. They're just disgusting place. But I have to go there, so I sit down and start noticing which guy beside me and become very interested with the guy next to me. Now this guy is playing this game that is basically is like shocking people until they die. And that's it. That's the game, right? And I'm noticing that this guy is not very good. It's like fact. He terrible like because if I'm looking, I'm saying like a lot of shooting and not my day, right? What really interested me was behind this loud player were three of his friends for option watching him play. I already noticed that was even though this guy was terrible, even though his friend was watching him, there was no embarrassment. There was no feeling being dressed. There was no stripe. In fact, quite the opposite. The guy told her, focus on the bad guys, smile on his face. All he can think about killing is killing this guy, right? And I'm watching him and I suddenly realize this is it. This is the same attitude that the people like Faisal have when they speak English. That's like this guy. When the Faisal goes into English conversation, he doesn't feel judged. He's entirely focused on the person that he's speaking to and the result he wants to get. He's got no self-awareness, no thought about his own mistake. No one is shared with you a real, true example to paint a picture of somebody who speaks English like they are playing piano and someone who speaks English like a piano game. It's just a true story. Happened with me. A while ago, I was in a pharmacy. I had to buy Omega. My doctor says I should get Omega. And I go to the shelf. This ton of Omega, the Omega that's high in DAA, Omega that's high EPA. I don't know which one to buy. Now the sales rep happened to be had there. And I shot his like well-dressed professional woman. I walk over to her and I see this look as she sees me. This shot is look I recognize very well. Her eyes go over. It's not thought about me. Oh my God, speak a naked speaker. She goes judge me and notice my mistake. I go up her and I explain my situation with Omega do again. And she started explaining me everything about DAA and EPA you could possibly imagine. She speaks very quickly, go around this circle, and when she finished, no idea what to buy. So I turned to the girl behind the counter. No, the girl behind the counter, her baby love level is very low. But when I walked over to her, this girl, there's no fear. In fact, she's just looking at me. You know that look? Like, yeah, okay, show her. Yeah, I've been in Malaysia a long time. So I go up to her and explain the problem, EPA and data. She looked at me, she says, okay, yeah. EPA for heart. DAA for brain. Your heart okay or not? So I said, yeah. I said my heart is really, everything is very good. She says, your brain okay or not? I said, no, my brain is not good as it should be. She looks and says, okay, la, you take Omega DAA. Problem solved, right? So we got two different kinds of communicators. We got one who got high level, but totally focused on herself and getting it right, and therefore very ineffective. We got another one, lower level, focus on the person she's talking and getting a reason. Effective, and the red line lies are different. Now why is this distinction so important, not just to you, your children, but the future of Malaysia and countries like Malaysia? And to emphasize, let's take a look who actually speak English in the world today. Okay, so we look all the English conversation in whole world taking place right now on planet Earth. We will see that for every native speaker like me, they are very non-native speakers. And if we listen to everything conversation in English on planet Earth right now, we would know that 96% of those conversation involve non-native English speakers. Only 4% of those conversations are native speaker to native speaker. This is not my language anymore. This language belongs to you. It's not an art to be mastered. It's your tool to use to get a result. And want to give you a real life example for what English is today is the world. Real is today. Then another true story. I was a barbecue a little while for energy and from all over the world. And there you were making hot dogs. Some are hot dogs were regular hot dogs, and so were these cheese hot dogs, and with the cheese is in the middle. Friend engineer is cooking the hot dogs, and he turned into the courier engineer, and she says, "Could you like a hot dog?" And the courier guy said, "Yes, please." He said, "Do you want the cheese?" And the courier guy looked around at the table and she said, "I know see the cheese. I know see cheese." French guy said, "Hot dog is contains the cheese." Korea guy doesn't understand him, right? So the French engineer try again. The hot dog is making from green tree. Korea wise doesn't understand. He try again. The hot dog is coming from. No, the cheese is come from the hot dog. Oh no, Korea guy cannot understand. Now the Japanese engineer who been listening to this conversation turned to the Korean engineer. He said, cheer integrator. He understand. He understand. Every day understand. So this is what English is today. It's just tool to play around with together present, like a model game. Another challenge is that we know in school all around the world, English is not really being taught like it's told to play with. It's still being taught like an art to master, and students are judged more on correctness than on clarity. Some of you might remember the old comprehension exam in school, the memory phone. When you get a question about text and you read, you have to read some text, right? And then answer the question to show that you understand the text. And this may happen to you that you show you understand the text, but you got a big X because you make a written grammar mistake. Like this student. The student clearly understood paragraph 4, but no, not correct, because he left the net at the end of the word environment. But the real word, what good matter? It's a real word. What good matter is this? This one is not summer, and so that you can go ahead and take action. Now the problem that I see here, over and over. It's just people take the attitude they develop about English in school and they bring into their adult life and into their work. And if you are straight situation and you're having a conversation, you try to give reason to someone and say it correctly. Your brain multitask is cannot to do things at once. I want to see the brain just shutting down. And you may recognize these three symptoms of brain shutting down. The first one is that you listen go. Someone is talking to you and you're busy thinking how you're going to respond and express yourself correctly. You don't actually hear what the others said. And I can see a lot of nodding in the audience. The second thing you go is your speaking. Your mind shut down, and the vocabulary you know just disappears, and your words don't come out. The third thing you go, you're confident. The worst thing about this is you may only unconfident because cannot express yourself clearly. But as a person talk to you, they may misunderstand this as a lack of confidence in your ability to do the job to perform. So if you want to speak English like further with that great confidence, here's one thing that you can do. When you speak, don't focus on yourself. Focus on the other person and result you want to achieve. Imagine a next generation of Malaysians all with that wonderful confidence in communication that finds a heart at any level of English. Because let's remember that English today is not an art to be mastered. It's just tool to illustrate a result, and that tool belongs to you. Thank you.